Dear students, welcome to our class on condensation basics 1. In this class, we are going to discuss thoroughly the forms of condensation. Before we start our class, I would like to just inspire you with a quote. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Okay, so this is the quote for our today's class. Now we discuss on condensation. Condensation is defined as the process in which the water vapor is converted into its liquid. In the evaporation, the water is converted into water vapor by taking energy. It is a cooling process. Condensation is the process in which the water vapor is converted into its liquid. So, a reverse of the evaporation. Of course, this process is inverse of evaporation. That's what we call it as in scientific term. In condensation, 600 calories of heat is released earth, by each gram of water which was taken in the evaporation process. Thus, the evaporation of water produces cooling effect and condensation gives warming effect. But from your examination point of view, there is a bit here. The visible forms of condensed moisture in the atmosphere is known as hydrometeors. The visible forms of condensed moisture in the atmosphere are known as hydrometeors. Now, so what are the conditions for condensation? Condensation is a heating process. So that's why uh, the condensation won't occur as it is in the atmosphere. It needs certain sort of conditions. Then only condensation occurs. What are those? The presence of sufficient water vapor is essential, because without the presence of water vapor, how the water vapor itself will become condensed. Okay, so there must be sufficient quantity of water vapor. Of course, of, dew point also shall be reached for water vapor to begin condensation. Dew point shall be reached. Okay, the other in the other class I told what is a dew point. Now in this class also, while I am talking about the dew point temperature, I try to tell you what is dew point once again. There, otherwise, for your academic interest, dew point is the point at which a given parcel of air becomes saturated under peculiar conditions, under sufficient water vapor or constant water vapor and pressure. Constant water vapor and pressure, these two conditions. So dew point, the temperature at which this process occurs is known as dew point temperature. It is for your benefit. Now, so presence of sufficient water vapor is essential. Presence of condensation nuclei in the atmosphere. If seashores are there, near the seashores, sodium and chlorine. Okay, some dust particles available always in the atmosphere. So around these particles only the condensation occurs. Again, as I said from the beginning, the cooling of air is essential for the condensation process to occur. These are the basic conditions. Once again, presence of sufficient water vapor, presence of condensation nuclei, cooling of air. Now, so the forms of condensation. So there are six major forms of condensation that occurs in the atmosphere. Of them, number one is dew. Here also I would like to explain what is dew point temperature once again. So the deposition of water vapor in the form of tiny droplets in the colder bodies by condensation is known as dew. The temperature at which water vapor condenses is known as dew point temperature. Nothing more than that. I told you several times, dew forms when condensation takes place above freezing point. Now, the conditions for formation of dew, conditions for formation, of course, what are the requirements for condensation are almost same. In addition to that, for the dew to form, there should be two conditions. Number one, clear sky. Okay, absence of wind. So these are the most essential things that are essentially required for dew formation. Now, what is the significance of dew for our agriculture? When the dew is deposited on the leaf surface in the morning, it Of course, in the morning when it is deposited, the leaf temperature is slightly delayed. So of course, therefore, it reduces both the evaporation from the soil, transpiration from the plant. That's what I would like to impress upon you. Dew deposition, of course, reduces the evapotranspiration. Now, dew provides direct plant use. Okay, for direct plant use, it provides certain amount of water, and under suitable conditions, of course, in our semi-arid areas or semi-arid areas, so in a year, the dew deposit may even go up to 25 to 30 millimeters per annum. Usually, April to September it starts. Okay, April it ends. Dew formation in the semi-arid areas. So what is the second one? The second one is the frost. When the temperature of atmospheric air falls below 0 degrees centigrade, before dew point is reached, the water vapor is directly converted into crystals of ice, which is called as frost. There are two types of frost: hoar frost, glazed frost. Okay, process. Now, the next one is fog. A bit will come in this question. First line itself, low cloud. Fog is known as low cloud. Cloud is defined as minute droplets of water suspended in the air at a higher altitude. That is the cloud. Here, what is a low cloud? Low cloud is fog. Okay, usually this happens in the mountainous areas. Mountainous areas, low cloud means it touches the ground. It touches the what do you call it? Uh, the surfaces of the mountains. Fog, majority of the fog occurs in the sea coast areas most of the times, or there are peculiar conditions, as I said from the beginning. So the conditions required for formation of dew, the conditions for condensation, 100% applicable to fog. Now, so two things are there, at least 75% RH, combined should be there. There are three types of fog: radiation fog, inversion fog, and advection fog. Now, the last three of the condensation, forms of condensation. The next one is the smog, the combined effect of smoke and fog. When smoke is added to fog, okay, this is called as the smog. Of course, some solid particles like dust, smoke from fires and industry restricts the visibility further when these are added to smog, which is known as haze, H-A-Z-E, haze. Okay. Now, visibility. Okay, some solid particles, when they are added to this particular situation in the atmosphere, so that is called as the haze. Once again, for your academic benefit, the combined effect of smoke and fog, okay, droplets which reduce the visibility is called smog. Some solid particles like dust, smoke from fires, and industry restricts the visibility further. When further visibility is restricted, when these are added to smog, it is known as haze. Visibility is the basis for either smog or haze. Now, the last two are rain. This is the freezing fog. When fog is freezing, we call it as rain. Mist. Mist is less dense fog. Less dense fog is known as mist. So this is what uh, our discussion on condensation, definition of condensation, forms of conditions for condensation. The six forms of condensation is the topic for our discussion. Thanking you very much. Before I just leave the class, once again I would like to tell you the quote that we learnt in this class. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Thanking you very much. May God bless you.